Hi, I'm Tanja Hayes. Let's learn some economics. Let's think about how to profit maximize, just kind of the basic version. So if you are a firm or a company or an individual selling something, probably your main goal is to maximize your profit. Profit is revenue minus cost. So whatever you take in, that's the revenue. And whatever you're having to pay out to your workers and products, ingredients, those kind of things, that would be your cost. So that's the profit. So let's take a look at this in terms of marginal revenue and marginal cost. What does marginal mean in economics? It means extra or additional. So that's always how we're thinking of things in terms of the marginal. So we're just going to put two things on this graph right now. So we're going to picture that we're in perfect competition. You don't have to worry about that too much right now. But let's imagine that we're selling apples at a farmer's market. And so there's all these different people selling apples, and we have an apple tree, so we grab some apples from our tree and bring a basket, and we're going to sell them. Now, the going price for apples at this market is $2. So we can sell however many apples we want for $2. So our price that we're getting is $2. We're going to set that, and that's the price. And for any given quantity, we're getting that price. So the price is just a horizontal line at that $2, which also means that we are getting an extra or additional revenue for each unit of $2. In other words, our marginal revenue is $2 per unit. So marginal revenue, MR. Okay, so that shows us a little bit about the revenue side of things. So at any given quantity, we can get that amount of extra or additional dollars, the $2 per apple. Now we're going to add in the cost side of things. So the marginal cost curve looks like a little check mark. So we're going to add that in, mostly upward sloping. That's our marginal cost. Marginal costy cost. Okay, now let's say that we are picking a certain quantity of apples that we're wondering, is this the best quantity? So let's pick a quantity over here, Q1. What's going on at Q1? Well, we know that the marginal revenue we're getting for that apple is $2. How much are we paying to produce that apple? Something less than that. The marginal cost is below. So that's kind of a good deal, right? We're taking in more than we're spending. Good deal. Now, should we do another apple maybe? So should we go to a slightly higher quantity? Well, if we did, what would happen? What's the marginal revenue of that extra apple? It's some amount, 2. What's the marginal cost? Something less than that. So we're making a little marginal profit on that apple. So should we go from quantity 1 to quantity 2? Yes, because we can make extra money. And theoretically, you can imagine any time that we keep going, yes, 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 until we get to where they're equal. Let's call that quantity 3. So for that specific apple, we're taking in as much extra as it's costing us. So we're breaking even on that apple. All right, should we go more? Should we go to quantity 4? Over here somewhere. Well, if we were to go from quantity 3 to quantity 4, we would see that our marginal or additional extra cost is up here. Our marginal revenue is below that. So do we want to do that? No, because it would cost us more than we're taking in. So we want to not go to quantity 4. So anytime that we're to the left of where they cross, we want to keep going. And once we get there, we want to stop. And so right there, where marginal cost and marginal revenue cross, that's where our profit is going to be maximized. And so in fact, the profit maximizing rule is going to say we should produce the quantity where marginal cost equals marginal revenue, always. And that doesn't matter if we're a monopolist, we're in perfect competition, doesn't matter. The profit maximizing rule is to always produce the quantity where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. So where MC equals MR, marginal cost equals marginal revenue. That's the profit maximizing rule always. Whoa! We better make sure we decorate it so we remember it. Wow, here it is, shining. All right. So anytime from now on, what's the profit maximizing rule? Produce the quantity where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. And that's how we do it. Now, every now and then, just to think of What if this point happened at like a half of an apple? Like, what if this was like 3.5 apples? Well, you can't sell 3.5 apples, so then we would just stop it to 3. So technically, we want to produce the quantity or up to the quantity where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. And that's what we always want to remember, and that's what we're going to use. Thanks. See you soon.